Hey, today is a Rise and Reignite legendary workout. I'm Michelle, and the way this workout is structured is we're going to go through stories. So every time we're doing a different activity, a different workout, the goal will be to be distracted and be really into this very bizarre, I'm just going to throw it out there. Today, they're kind of bizarre legends and stories from around the world. We're going to start by warming up by just jogging in place to begin with. So we're going to start with about a 5-minute warm up just to get all the blood flowing, all those juices going. You might have been sitting down all day like me doing work, or maybe you have been super active all day, and this is just like a nice little treat to your body to be a little bit more gentle, but still working out. All right, we're going to kick here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stand still. Feet come about hip distance apart. You're gonna lift one leg up and then the other. Don't let those arms get too comfortable on your sides because we're gonna start reaching out and out and out. You don't need to come up high. Again, this is all about you and where your body's at today. If it's super low because those hamstrings are tight, keep it low, whatever's stretching you today. Otherwise, you can take it up high and you can switch so that you're getting a little more movement in your torso as you move side to side. So we're going to move through 4 different stories today. They're going to be from around the world. We're going to cover people who are trying their best to get love, per usual. We're going to cover people who are just misunderstood. Got 3, 2, 1. We're going to continue to work those arms. Bring your feet a little wider, by shoulder distance. Bring those hands in front of you and open up to one side and then open up to the other. Reaching back and reaching back. Breathe in and out nice and slow. So we're going to cover a whole full body workout through this. We're going to work on some legs, some glutes. Most of the exercises will have a little bit of all of those movements interspersed. But our first quadrant and our last quadrant are really going to focus on arms to begin with and abs to end with. 3 and 2. Last one, take those legs even wider. We're just moving out little by little. Touch down to one foot and touch down to the other, getting that wonderful heavenly stretch in the back of those legs. Breathe in and out as you push side to side. You might not be able to come super low. That's totally fine. Again, wherever you are at today is a great place to be. Just use your body and what it can do. You got 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. We're going to take a nice long lunge step forward. And while you're out here, you're going to reach over to the other side. Oh, yeah. Pull back up. Go to the other side and pull up. So switch side to side, nice and smooth. I'm going to keep a tempo here. You can do this with me, but you can also do it at your own pace. This warm-up is not about getting into like really sweaty territory. It's more about just easing your body into the exercise. You got 3, 2, you're going to do your final one here. Excellent. You're going to reach out your right leg, pull it all the way out, reach down. Oh, yeah. Scoop down, pull up, and switch to the other leg. You should feel this all along your thigh, as well as the back of your calf, maybe even behind your knee, as you reach up for the sky. Again, you can do this at whatever pace. If you're ready for something a little quicker, you want to raise that pace up a little more, go for it. You got 3 and 2. Last one. We're going to do jumping jacks here. So go ahead and come all the way up. This will bring your heart rate up just a little bit, but you don't need to go all out here, right? You're just keeping this nice steady pace, something where you'd be able to talk to me and have a conversation if we were in the room. During the exercises, there will be times when you're like, the last thing I want to do right now is have a conversation. This is one of the times you could. 5, 4, 3, 2, come back to center for this last one. Hands on your hips, bring your leg up, pull it around and switch to the other side. Just open up that gate. So when we do this exercise, we're going to have some time we're really digging into the muscle, and then we're going to have some time where we're really pulling that heart rate up. We're going to have 1-minute cardio blasts to finish off each of these exercises, each of these stories. And that's when I want you to give your all. It's only 1 minute. That is a long time, but it's not that long at the same time. One of life's paradox. You got 3, 2, last one. Go ahead and jog in place for your last 10 seconds here in your warm-up. All right, you got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Awesome. We're gonna start with our first story. We're gonna grab our set of heavier weights and we're going to go to Russia. All right, this story is about someone who is deeply misunderstood. Bring these arms here. You're gonna bring one arm up, and as you pull it down, you're gonna switch it with the other arm and switch it with the other arm. So focus on keeping those nice 90-degree angles and pulling up and up and up. So this is about a misunderstood bro who really just wants to do it-yourself projects and occasionally kill people. He's not asking for much, just those small little pleasures in life. So we're gonna start though with someone else who maybe can be called the hero of the story. He's an old-time warrior. He's this old guy, and this is how he would power walk through a mall with weights in each hand, pulling them side to side. So he's walking through the forest on his way back to his home when he sees an old mill that he knows his friend used to own and operate. So he goes, knocks on the door and says, oh, hey, friend. Takes his friend a moment to recognize him, but in fact, then he does. You're gonna go ahead and bring both arms down all the way, roll them out, around and back, put them back at your sides, pull them up, and now we're gonna just hang out here, bringing them out, 2, in, 2. So they have a good old chat. They, shoot the breeze, talk about whatever those millers and old warriors do. And at the end of it, the warrior's like, hey, been great seeing you. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go on this path outside. I know it's nighttime, but I got places to go. And the guy says, oh, please stay, don't leave. And he's like, really, seriously, I wanna go home. And he's like, okay, but wouldn't you rather just stay here? He's like, no, dude, I wanna go home. So finally, he's like, okay, I didn't wanna tell you like this, but there's an evil warlock who is haunting our village. We're gonna do 2 more just like this. Take it out. Last one. Take it out, pull it all the way down and back. You're gonna bring those arms together. You're gonna roll out those shoulders, pull them back to those wings and start pulling in. And so the guy says, okay, I hear what you're saying. You think there's an evil warlock who will kill me if I go out at night, but I work for the Tsar and I think I'll be okay. So he goes on his walk on his merry way and he happens to pass by a graveyard where he sees a man who is in his cloak outside of his own grave, and inside of his coffin is a fire ablaze, and the man is outside of the coffin, his spooky coffin, and he is sewing a pair of old boots. Yes, that is what warlocks do in Russia. You got 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms down, bring those legs far apart. You're gonna start coming down and up, down, up. You got 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Pull those legs a little bit together. And you're gonna lean over. You're gonna bring those arms, up to your side. Pull them down and row up. So they start having a conversation. The guy's like, finally, some company. This is the warlock. He's like, dude, there's a wedding going on tonight. We should crash it. And that's what they do. So they give up that, DIY shoe project and go to this wedding where the warlock proceeds to get completely wasted. And at first, he's kind of a happy drunk, but eventually turns out not so much. He turns into an angry drunk, scares everyone's away, puts the husband and wife into a sleep, like a super secret, scary sleep. You got 3 and 2. Last one. Awesome. Put those weights all the way down. You're going to grab one lighter weight with your right hand. Pull your left foot forward, right leg back, and then out to the side. Take that arm back behind you. Start lifting up, 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 up. So he puts them into this sleepy stupor, and he takes blood from the palms of their hands and puts it into a vial and takes it with him in his coat, and they start walking down the road, and the warrior who's with him, been partying and wedding crashing with him all night, is like, I'm just gonna play this super cool. So they go on this journey back to the graveyard, and he's like, hey dude, so that was really cool what you did back there. Like, what exactly did you do? And the warlock is like, oh yeah, I'm killing those people. In the morning, they'll die. And the guy's like, cool, okay. So like, is there any way they would not die? You're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bend, stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna switch to the other leg. Take your right foot forward in front, left leg comes back a little bit out to this side, lean forward over this leg, pull your arm back and start lifting it up, 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 up. So he, in recognition of that statement, like, is there any way they couldn't die? He's like, yeah, brah, totally. If they had their own blood re-injected back into their feet, they would survive. And so he's like, cool, you've got that in your coat pockets. And he's like, I totally do. And so he's like, great, we're just like checking off the boxes. Thanks for informing me. And then they go on to the next question. He's like, and you see him, warlock, like pretty epic, kind of invincible. Like, doesn't seem like anyone could stop you. And he's like, yeah, brah, almost. But no, people could totally stop me. You got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold here, bend, stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull those arms down. Take them out to your sides, pull them to your sides, bring those legs out to good, slightly wider than hip distance apart, and lift up and down. And so they start, he says, what someone would have to do is set up a pyre with 100 logs on it, set me on fire, and then here's the really creepy thing. If they set me on fire, what comes out of me are all these bugs and critters and gross things, and you would just have to like make sure none of those get away and they all die, and then I'll actually be dead. And so he's like, cool, brah, thank you for informing me. And at daybreak, right before he's about to kill the warrior for having told him all this, he ends up like turning back into a corpse because he's basically a vampire. And the guy takes the blood out of the coat pockets, brings it to the newlyweds, revives them, and then they build this epic pyre. They put him on it and they beat off all the critters that come out of him throughout that death, and they all live happily ever after, having killed this guy. So that's your full story of that. We're gonna pull that down, and for your 1-minute cardio blast, we're gonna kill the critters. So we're gonna start by smacking down those critters like worms and centipedes and those kinds of gross little monsters that come out of him. Think Oogie Boogie. That's what this whole deal is about. Smack side to side. You can put one leg on the ground to stable yourself, or you can lift it up in the air for an extra balance challenge. Try to move it a little faster. You don't want any of those critters to get away, because that would mean the warlock lives forever and ever. Nobody wants that. He parties too hard. You got 5, 4. We're gonna switch to getting the crows. You're gonna go ahead and reach up and get the crows. Reach up and get the crows. Reach up. It's your 1-minute cardio blast. We're only here 10 more seconds. Get all those crows. Last 3 and 2. Final 1. Yay! You succeeded. You won. Grab water. Anything you need to keep going. You got a nice 30-second break here. To catch your breath. Feel really accomplished for basically beating Oogie Boogie or whatever that stuff is in the, what's it called? Nightmare Before Christmas? Words hard after jumping. Full sentences, not possible. Unfortunately, I have to tell another story. We're going to Japan. We're gonna come down on the ground, come back onto your arms, your legs are out. Like come down to one side, and you're gonna come to the other. And you're gonna come to the other side, and you're gonna go to the other. All right. So this is the story of the battle between the monkey and the crab. Obviously, right now between those two, we are the crab. She's a smart crab. She's a long-term thinker kind of crab. And she finds a bowl of rice. She's like, today is my lucky day. She takes this bowl of rice with her, but the monkey spots her, and the monkey is a trickster. And the monkey says, hey, crab woman, I see you have that bowl of rice. I'd really like it. So we're gonna add something here. We're gonna come to the side, And as you come fully to the right hand side, you're gonna do true tricep dips. Go to the other side and do true tricep dips here. And so she says, yeah, I do have a nice bowl of rice. And he's like, okay, I will trade you this persimmon tree seed in order to get that bowl of rice. She says, like, nah, brah, no deal. And he's like, really? Because this would end up being an awesome persimmon tree in the future. And she says, okay, I do want a family someday, and I want to be able to provide for them, so that sounds good. You're gonna do 2 more, just like this. So in the meantime, this tree does in fact grow, so it's perfect. So we're gonna do a different thing now though. We're gonna come to the side, still be in the crab, and then lift up. Come to the other side, side and side, lift up, side and side. Try as she may, this crab is too short to reach the persimmons in the tree. So she once again talks to the monkey. So we're gonna come all the way up to our feet. You're gonna grab 2 light weights, 1 in either hand. You're gonna lift 1 arm up, pull up the opposite leg. And the monkey says, sure, I'll climb that tree and get those persimmons for you. But he's not a good guy, guys. He's a bad guy. And he goes to the top. Once he's at the top, we're gonna do 3, 2, last one. He starts taking those persimmons and slamming them down on the crab. Yes, until he has, in fact, pelted her to death. Just as she dies, all of her baby crabs come out of her body. She gives birth as she dies. And you can anticipate, last one, take those weights down, come down to the side, and let's be a baby crab. So you're gonna come down to the side and open up those crab legs. Open it up, open up. So if you want an extra challenge, you can go ahead and keep your feet up off the ground the whole time, so your knee can still stay on the ground while your knee lifts up. So these little crabs, they decide we need to make a plan to kill the monkey, as babies do. And so we got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, come to the other side, same thing over here. They enlist the help of what I will call unlikely heroes. You've got a chestnut, you've got a bee, you've got an usu, which is a like a big mortar, like a really heavy stone mortar that they make mochi in. And you've got, I'm not kidding, cow dung. So they enlist this group of 4 unlikely superheroes to help them out. We got 3, 2, last one. Come all the way up, standing up onto your feet, and we're gonna kill the monkey. We're gonna come side to side, super stealthy, right? We're getting ready for it. If you wanna hold weights in your hands during this to add some extra resistance and feel more like a boss, by all means, please do so. So they decide to get a good setup. They put the chestnut in the fireplace, in the hearth. They put the bee into the water bowl. They put the cow dung onto the floor. So, okay, so not really hiding, but there's a plot here. And then they put the usu on the ceiling. And so the monkey comes back into his house, and apparently it was frigid outside. By the way, the baby crabs are nowhere to be seen in this. They're out there just anticipating, I guess. So he comes inside. First thing he does is go to the fireplace to warm himself up. As soon as he hits the fireplace, the chestnut, which was hiding there, jumps out at him. We're gonna do 3, 2, hold here. We're gonna pulse down to this side. So the chestnut reaches out into his face, and then he's like shocked and burned, and he says, I need water. So he goes to his water bowl, but as soon as he gets there, the bee jumps out and stings him. We do 3, 2, 1, reach to the other side and pulse here. And so he decides, like any normal monkey would, to run out of his house. This is major like Home Alone flashbacks to me. So he runs out of his house, slips on the cow dung, lands on the floor. You got 3, 2, 1, other side. Pulse it down low, get a little lower, guys. You can do it. And he, as soon as he falls on the ground, what happens? But the usu that giant mochi grinder falls on him, killing him. And that is how the baby crabs won the day. Go to the other side. Breathe in and out. We're gonna start here and then we're gonna go down further to talk about an alternate ending. Breathe in and out. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come low here. All right, move side to side. So in another version, instead of this whole thing happening, the crab takes her bowl of rice, goes scubbles into a hole, and the monkey decides to defecate on her, and he goes, positions himself over the hole, and she lifts up her pincers and starts snapping away all that hair, which explains why monkeys have bare bottoms and crabs have hairy hands. And if you don't know what a hairy crab hand is, you can look it up later and be full of nope. But that's that story too. You got last one, and then we're gonna move into our cardio blast. It might look familiar. It's gonna look like this. Oh, I got lit on fire. Oh, I go down by the water. And then, oh, I get stung by a bee. And then, oh, I get like, what is it? Slip on the cow dung and come out. So maybe it's a burpee or maybe it's just a monkey dying. Either way, go for it now. Take it back and up and back. Monkey death would make me much more inclined to do this exercise in a normal cardio class. If that's what things were called. Be like, heck yes. All those baby crabs left without a mom. How could he? Breathe in and out. You're doing great. Keep pulling through. Is that a bee sting? Is that a fiery chestnut? I don't know. You got 10 seconds left, guys. Push through. You're so close. You're almost there. Less than, all right, 3, 2, last one. Yay! And the monkey dies a horrific death. All right, next story. Also a weird one. Also related to family drama. Go ahead and walk it out. Grab water, whatever you need. Get jazzed. We're gonna do some Norse mythology. Yes, we're covering Loki yet again. We're gonna come down to the ground all the way. And I'm gonna set you up, all right? Imagine you're sitting around a fireplace, lifting a leg up and then kicking that leg in. This is how most people sit around a fireplace listening to stories. That's literally all this move is, setting up the story and pretending we're lounging around doing so. All right, so we're gonna kick it up and pull it in. So all these Norse gods, right? They live in Asgard. And Asgard is fantastic, not well protected. It has no gate or fence, and the giants definitely want to get in. They want to kill these people. So they're thinking about their options. We got 3, up, and 2. Last one on this side, take it up, switch around to the other side. Same thing over here. We're gonna keep listening to the story, set up, pull it in, reach it up, try to stack those hips. Okay, so a stranger from a far distant land comes to their place. He brings this horse. This horse is a key character, so don't overlook the horse. He brings his horse and him and says, I can build you guys a fence. Super good. And they're like, this is tempting. What do you want? And he says, all I want is your goddess of fertility and the sun and moon. And they're like, I'm not feeling it. But Loki's like, I think we can make this work. You got 3 and 2. Last one, just like this. Take it up and out. We're gonna scramble all the way up to our feet. We're gonna be that stranger. While they're in decision making, we're on our horse. Again, the horse is an important character. You're just doing squats. Bring it down real low, guys. Real low. You're on the super weighty horse. Lean into it. All right, so Loki says, okay, here's what we do. We negotiate. We say, yes, you can build the wall. And we say, though, there are very specific terms. If he doesn't finish it entirely by the end of winter, he doesn't get anything. The whole deal is kaput. And so they're like, I know that contractors never finish on time anyway. It's an age-old thing. Even the gods knew. And so they're like, okay, this seems like a solid plan. So they say that to him. And Loki's view is that at the end of the day, we'll still keep the goddess of fertility, the sun, the moon, and we'll have a good portion of the wall done. So it's a win-win for everyone except him. And they're like, great. So we're going to start building that wall. Come down low and start laying down that brick. So this guy, he says, sure, I can finish by summer. And he brings him and his horse. And they start plowing this field. And it's like going so fast. And they start laying down all this rock. We're going to get more aggressive with it. We're going to move over to this side. And we're going to come down, lift it up. Take it over to the side. And take it down. And take it up. So a little extra burn in those thighs, but stay low the whole time. Take it down and up. And so he starts to get really aggressive, and they're getting concerned. These gods, they're like, we have a fertility goddess. We don't want to let go. And he's almost done, and it's almost summer. And they're like, what do we do? Who do we blame? And it's Loki. So they're like, Loki, we are going to kill you. And he says, nah, guys, nah, it's okay. Do it one more time. Let's come stand all the way up. We're going to come back onto this horse. We're moving a little faster this time. This horse is invigorated. Why is this horse invigorated? Well, Loki disappears saying, I'll take care of it. What appears when Loki does that is the most beautiful, gorgeous horse you've ever seen. So this horse, we're going to lift up one foot, the other foot. Despite all of the grand horses that doing all the construction's best intentions, he cannot help but fall in love with this beautiful, gorgeous, out of this world mare. So he goes, follows her off into the distance with this stranger yelling behind him, I can't finish the wall without you, horse. That's the last he sees of that horse. And so, so that horse is gone. And this guy, he is infuriated. He comes all the way up. He's like, guys, you did me wrong. Grab your heavy weight. He reveals who he truly is. You're going to take a big step forward, lift that weight up above you, bring it down in these huge, giant steps. Because it turns out this guy is not just some stranger. He is a giant. One of the people they were trying to keep out. And so as he does this, they're like, oh, heck no. All bets are off. No longer will we let this happen. Thor, who was on vacation / fighting enemies until this point, shows up and says, dude, no way you are getting our fertility goddess. Come to center. Take that hammer you got, start slamming it down, lift it up, slam it down, lift it up, slam it down. So he says, there's no way this is happening. I will defeat you. And he basically just takes one big heavy-duty swipe to this guy's head, knocks him off, and then end of that story. They have their fantastic wall, didn't lose their fertility goddess, who, by the way, was never a fan anyway. Keep moving back and forth just a little longer. And here's the weird part, okay? Loki's still gone. He's gone for a few months, guys. And then he comes back. Okay, go ahead and drop that weight to the side. He comes back, and he has with him a new horse. This horse is an 8-legged magical horse, and he doesn't want to disclose exactly where it came from. But I will, because Norse mythology does. He went and had a baby as a female horse with this other random horse. And then this new 8-legged horse is the one Odin uses to just do his god stuff. That whole thing seems like a weird familial thing to me. We're in our 1-minute cardio break or blast. You're gonna come down low. You're gonna gallop, because horses are important to this story. Get down a little lower. Keep breathing. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do some variations on these fast movements down low in horse riding position. Now 5, 4, 3, 2, hold here and hop forward, 4, hop back. Hop forward and hop back. Hop forward, hop back. Get low, guys. The more low you get, the more of a burn this is. You got it, keep going. We're gonna do 2 more just like this. All the way forward, all the way back. 1 more, just like this. Forward, all the way back, now to the side. To the side, and to this other side. Still riding our horse. This is a dressage horse now. I don't know if you guys know what that is. They're just like walking one leg over the other. Get one side, one side. Even better if the horse has 8 legs. Now 3, and 2. Last one. You're done. Whew. Man, that's a burner in those thighs and in those calves. Great job. We're gonna move on to our next and final story. Today you got a 30-second break. Grab water, catch your breath, feel really good. And we're gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna do some ab work. We're gonna talk a fable. Fables are different from folk stories, folk tales. All these things have slight variations. Fable's something you like learn a lesson from. So we're going to Vietnam, which we haven't done before. We're going to cover the fable of how the tiger got its stripes. So we're gonna start, again, by introducing the story. Go ahead and come around onto your back. Lift those legs up high, hands right underneath your booty. Bring those legs as a single unit down and up. So we're just starting here to get to know these characters. This tiger is epic, or at least he thinks he is. He thinks he is the hottest with like an H-A-W-T kind of spelling in the jungle. No one is as good as him. Mostly, he really is very vain, prides himself on his magnificent golden coat and how fabulous he is, how well manicured his paws are. He is extremely vain. Last 2, take it all the way up. Last one, take it all the way up. Awesome. You're gonna crawl around onto the other side. You're gonna come onto your hands and knees, and then you're gonna come up into a downward dog. You're gonna come down, bring your hands or your elbows down and your knees down, and then you're gonna crop all the way up. So you're gonna come down. You're not gonna fully touch the ground with your knees or with your elbows, but it's a full body moving all the way up, all the way down. So there's only one animal he doesn't really get along with. Like, this animal is super fierce. It's the water buffalo. And no kidding, guys, water buffaloes are super fierce. So if you're ever in battle, try not to be in a battle against the water buffalo or a baby crab. So the water buffalo, super fierce, but the tiger sees it. And it's like, dude, you're so tame. What is the deal? I just saw you plowing the field and then sitting very still, eating out of a trough. What is the deal? Bring it all the way up. You're gonna come into a plank position. I know this is gonna be hard, guys. Stick with me though. Come into your plank and hold here. So the deal with this is that the guy is just sitting so still, just like us. The water buffalo is not moving, not running from the tiger. And he's like, water buffalo, what is up? And the water buffalo says, man has so much, like, I might have strength and all this amazing stuff, but man has wisdom. And that's what got me, is man's wisdom. So the tiger thinks, all right, I gotta go talk to man. And he come down onto your knees, pull back, reach those hands forward in front of you. He talks to man and says, man, give me some wisdom. And man is like, oh, this is awkward. This is like a tiger trying to kill me. What do I do? So the man says, go ahead and come all the way up, and we're gonna switch around so that we're on our backs. We're gonna lift our legs up into the air and hands up into the air. We're gonna start here. We're gonna ease down, moving one arm, one leg down, pull it up, switch to the other side, pull it up and side to side. So man says, oh, sure, Tiger, I can get you some wisdom. I left it in my house, so I need to go get it. And the tiger says, okay, you can do that. And the man's like, hey, I'm like a little worried about just leaving you out here around my goats, around my water buffalo. Like, how can I know you won't eat it? And so he's like, if you want, you can like tie me to a tree. And so the guy's like, that sounds great. So go ahead and bring those legs all the way out forward in front of you, hands all the way back behind you. And so first lift your opposite arm to opposite leg. And he says, you can tie me up to a tree. And so he first starts by tying his body there. We're gonna do 4, take it down, 3, 2, last 1, lift both those legs up as if they are tied to something. And we're gonna move one arm in the opposite, toward the opposite leg, move it back, arm toward the other leg, back, arm across, and across. And the guy says, Tiger, I am still concerned. Your legs might be tied, but your arms are not. Can I tie down your arms so that you cannot attack or reach for my water buffalo? And the tiger says, sure, you can tie down my arms. You're gonna do 5, 4, and 3, last 2, final 1, reach those arms up. So we're gonna be here and still move your head. You can move your head in circles, you can move it all the way around. And the guy says, we're gonna move up toward those toes. We're gonna do 10 counts here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Pull from your abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull their whole body in. So he says, you also have that whole face, that head that can attack my water buffalo and goats. So he says, okay, tie me all up and that's fine. So he's all tied up. Breathe here for a moment. And then lift those legs up and lift those arms up. Pull your whole body up and hold statically. He's just holding here. And he's waiting. The farmer goes away, seemingly to have forgotten this man or this tiger. And eventually the tiger gets hungry and says, I want out. I want to get my food. And I don't care about getting wisdom anymore. And so he starts to try to break free. So we're going to go ahead and drop those legs down. We're going to come into a plank series. We're going to lift up, 2, 3, 4, drop down, lift up. 2, 3, 4, drop down, lift up. 2, 3, 4, drop down, lift up. So keep rotating side to side. And he's trying to break free from those bondages. And while he starts shuffling in those ropes that are tying him down, he eventually breaks free and is left, though, with the burn marks from that struggle. So we're going to come all the way down. There is another option here. The other option, move those legs fast back and forth. If you want, you can take your head and pull your abs into center. The other option is the man went back to his place, grabbed fire, and lit the rope on fire. And so this is the fire that's being lit and the rope that's being lit. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop all the way down, rotate over. You're gonna drop those hands onto your floor and lift your whole body up and pull up. At the end of the day, though, the tiger is now covered in these stripes, beginning his career as a serial conglomerate thing, and is super disappointed now with how he looks, though. So the whole story is about like not being vain, because then you'll get stripey. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do our cardio blast here. It's our last cardio blast, so give it your all. We're gonna break free from our chains. We're gonna lift down, reach up, lift down, try to reach up, lift down, reach up, reach up. So this is you trying to get out of those ropes, tying you to the tree. Whoops, don't fall. It's the extra test. And reach side to side. Bring your booty far back as you come down. Keep going right here. You got 3, and then we're chaining it up. 2, last 1. That was an ineffective test, so we're gonna start doing jumping jacks. Do them fast though. Fast enough to burn the rope that binds you. 10 more seconds, guys. That's all you gotta do. Move fast. Get blurry. You got 3, 2, last 1. Yes. Oh, great job today, guys. Breathe in and out. All we have now is our cool down, our stretch. So we're gonna start by just walking in place. Hands on our hips. Take those arms out to the side. Lift those arms all the way up as you inhale and exhale. So using a little bit of movement to get us to cool down and breathe out. Really good. One more time here. Breathe in and breathe out. So you have a nice long stretch here. Go ahead and bring those legs super far apart. Hands onto your hips. Pull down into that flat back position. Go ahead and shift your hips side to side. Breathe in and out. Drop those hands down to the ground. As you pull your right or your left palm onto the ground, open up your right side of your body, lifting that arm toward the sky. Guys, really great job today. These exercises are not easy. There's really no break for a period of about 8 minutes, 8 to 9 minutes. And then you get a quick 30-second break before you move on to the next exercise. That's hard stuff, guys. You beasted through it today. Really good work. Drop down and pull up. There's so many times in these stories, my main question is, what? But they're always interesting. Go ahead and bring that arm down. We're gonna move over to the right leg. We're gonna start by coming into a nice long runner's lunge. So you have a few options here. You can stay up on off of your back knee, standing nice and, or bring your torso up nice and tall. You can also drop that knee down to the ground. Either way, try to keep those hips squared, that chest open. Breathe in and out. Drop those hands down to the ground, pull back. If your knee was up, go ahead and drop that down. We're gonna come into this long hamstring stretch. Drop a little closer to this leg with each breath. Really use this time to settle your mind, be calm, but also use it to take advantage of being in this stretch. If it's a kind of day where you need to just phone it in, that's totally cool. If it's a kind of day where you can stretch yourself a little bit further, you know what, go that extra inch. Every day is another opportunity to push yourself just a little bit farther in really small ways. Go ahead and pull forward. We're gonna bring both hands to the inside of our leg. Pull that leg back, pull your opposite leg forward, and we're gonna first start by moving into that long hip flexor stretch. So you can come into your runner's lunge by bringing that leg back behind you and pulling that knee up off the ground, staying nice and tall in this stretch. Or again, you can bring that knee down onto the ground for some balance. Hips are square, shoulders are back, down away from your ears. One more big breath here and drop that leg down. Hands come down to either side. Pull back. Let that toe pull up, peel up off the ground. Lean down over this leg. Again, push just a little bit farther than you did before. Sometimes when it comes to exercise, we can do so much more than we give ourselves credit for. So make sure you give yourself credit for what you did accomplish today. I'm grateful for what your body slammed through. Go ahead and bring back both hands to the inside of that leg and pull that leg back. We're gonna twist around so that we're on our back. And lift our right leg up and over our left. Reach that arm around that left thigh and pull that leg in toward your chest. Getting that long stretch in your glute on your right hand side. You can gently add pressure to the outside of that knee, giving it a little bit of a something to make it feel just even more special. Pull a little closer and release that leg. Switch to the other side. Wrap those arms around your right leg. Pull it in while you, ooh, yeah. Gently push your left thigh out to the side. Just a couple deep breaths here. Use this moment, use this space. Breathe deeply all the way into your diaphragm, really letting that air fill you up. Go ahead and bring that leg down. We're gonna come all the way up onto our bum. Bring your hands out to the side. We're gonna end with one big deep breath, so make it a good one. Inhale, hands up toward the sky, and exhale, let it all go. Guys, I love you and I love getting to work out with you. Subscribe to the channel, find me on Instagram, let me know you came, let me know what's sore, let me know what's sweating, and I love to hear all of that, as gross as you might think it is. At least it's not a lot of like maggots and snakes and worms coming out of you when you die. I mean, that's a thing too. So I will see you guys around and I will talk to you later. Bye.